execute the office of President of the United States faithfully.
As the President of the United States faithfully.
And will, to the best of my ability,
preserve,
protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God?
So help me God.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing.
We should be plugged in the camera by now.
We're excited about him going on this trip.
This is my daughter, Sophia Sidjic. I call her Rose. She is really interested in politics and was interested in the election and can't wait to see the president and also Beyonce.
Hey, how you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling pretty good, you know, to be able to go to a special occasion like this.
And what time did you arrive this morning?
I got here at about 6:30, but you know, nobody was here yet. So we stopped and went to go get a bite to eat.
So why did you get here so early?
Well, I was excited. There was a time in history where, you know, African Americans, they didn't have much right to do anything, and to see one sworn in as a president, that's just big. It's history. Because in my grandmother's era, persons of color were considered second-class citizens. They had to step off the sidewalk. For white people, I have a passion for any kind of history. I am 13 years old, born and raised in Omaha, Nebraska. It's my first trip pretty much out of Nebraska. So I've never been to a major city, really.
I found out about this trip through Minnesota Humanities. It was a cohort I was in called Reconstructing Curriculum with Dr. Akintunde. And they talked about the film that he had made previously, and it sounded really exciting to go to the second inauguration. So I sent a letter about Leon Gordon and got accepted because of that letter.
I was sitting in my first period class, and the security guard came to escort me to the office. And I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on? Yeah, I don't think I had did anything, but you know. And so I walked in the office, and my social studies teacher, Miss Sidjic, and the principal were sitting there, and my counselor, and I'm like, what's going on? And they said, you're in trouble. I'm like, what did I do? Oh, man. He said, I'm just kidding. You're going to the inauguration of the first African-American president. I was like, what? Is this another joke?
He is incredibly inquisitive, that's his word, and on the weekends he researches his ancestry online at the public library and is tracing through census records back. He's hoping to get to his relatives that were slaves, and I just knew that it would be a perfect fit for this trip.
Most people, when they think of Omaha or Nebraska in general, they think of corn fields, but Omaha has the third highest African-American murder rate in the country.
I remember the riots. I remember the riot down on 24th Street, and the fire department blocked it off from Ames to Cummings, and they wouldn't even go down in there and put none of the fires out. They just let them burn their own stuff up.
There was an era where African-Americans were considered 3/5 of a person, and they didn't have any civil rights. Black people, they couldn't vote at the fear of being lynched or being thrown in jail. I think of, you know, how far black people have come as a people from being in bondage to now having an African-American president. I think President Barack Obama gives black people hope.
I am so pumped! Can't wait to go.
I'm looking forward to all the fun, the camaraderie, and hearing a wonderful speaker speak, the President of the United States.
I went last time, and last time there was, I guess what we were experiencing then is maybe some disbelief, because I and several other people, I believe, on the bus at that time didn't believe we would be able to experience a black president in our lifetime. So after that came to fruition, and we're now doing it the second time, I think there's a lot of young people that we didn't have last time on the bus that are now going with us. And I'm just excited being able to be there and experience it time number 2. My name is Terry Crawford. I am an attorney, but I also teach Black Studies at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. And because I am an attorney, we talk a lot about this in some of our classes, about the presidency of Barack Obama, how it has affected us in all areas, particularly in the legal arena and other areas. So there's been lots of discussion first 4 years and then the second 4 years.
I feel that this president is a role model for not just black Americans, but all Americans. Sweet land and liberty for thee I sang. I can sing that with meaning now and really mean it. If I had to give a word of advice to this president, I would say stick to your principles of compassion and end the war in Afghanistan.
If I had to leave a message for the president, I would say continue to do great work, and we're proud of you.
I think in some ways it's probably, this inauguration is more important than the last one as far as the historical significance, because I think some people who were naysayers might have written it off as a fluke the first time, and so this really cements Barack Obama's place in history to get both terms.
A teeming number of people don't get to see a moment like this. You know, I'm grateful that I get to witness this.
Or maybe you'll go there and work someday.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Oh yes.
My level of excitement is over the top. Just having this opportunity to take students to somewhere that they've never been before and possibly will never get to go again. Our school is the Law, Government, and International Diplomacy magnet. Having these students be able to take that experience back to Northwest and share that with the rest of the students there and the faculty, and it's just amazing.
I think it's the opportunity of a lifetime. At my age, I've never had the opportunity to do anything like this. And I think it's a life-changing experience for our kids. They get the opportunity to tell their kids and their grandkids about what they are experiencing at this inauguration. I just hope it excites everybody a lot more about the way our government and the way we inaugurate presidents.
I found out about the trip because of my trial practice teacher, Mr. Okrina. He told the class that students would actually get the chance to participate in a contest to win a spot to the Washington, D.C. trip.
Yeah, I found out when I was standing in the hallway and Mr. Okrina just walked by and he said, "Oh yeah, Tyler, your essay got picked, you get to go." And I had the biggest smile on my face. I walked by my friends, like, guess what, I get to go to Washington, D.C., and they're like, "Oh, that's awesome."
The idea of going to the inauguration resonated with me because I'm a social studies teacher. I'm fascinated with the workings of our government and the celebrations that we're going through, inaugurating the president. So obviously it's a historical inauguration. It's the first African-American president we've had in our history. So a second term for that is pretty historical.
In my essay, the last presidential, I was in middle school. They had it on all the TVs. They had it on in the cafeteria, and that's when everybody was like silent, eating lunch. And a bunch of like 5th and 6th graders silent is a rare occasion. So that's what I wrote down, that was one of those surreal moments where everybody was quiet to watch it.
Being an African American and being able to go to inauguration, it means that much more because, you know, you get to see presidents sworn in throughout a lifetime, but seeing a black male be president after all the things African Americans have gone through in the past and seeing a black president in the highest office in government, amazing.
I found out that I would be able to go when someone donated the money for me to go, because I was the alternative person, so I'm really happy that someone would be nice enough to do that for me.
I found that I was going to be able to go yesterday.
That's right, because you got some new money, and I heard that they were able to sponsor a couple more people.
I was really happy. I called my mom and everything, just saying that I got to go, and she was really excited for me.
Like, ecstatic to go to the second presidential inauguration. It just shows that if you want to do anything, it just makes it possible. I think it will be pretty soon that women are going to soon be the president, because
the students going on the trip are going to have an incredible experience. They're going to be able to see firsthand, once again, instead of just reading in the book, they're going to be able to go home and tell their parents and their friends and the other students just exactly what's going on in our government.
Just to be able to be there myself and not look over it through the TV or see pictures in newspapers, but the fact that I'm actually there witnessing it with my own eyes is an honor.
You got it? Watch your back. What did you say?
My level of excitement is super excited. I'm super excited. This is my dad, Orlando, and my mom, Diana.
Hi guys. My daughter has this opportunity. It's a great opportunity, once in a lifetime. I have never been there. I've never seen something like this. My husband has never seen something like this. It will take her a long way in her career, and hopefully she'll see that nothing can stop her.
I'm very proud of her.
She can go and do whatever she wants to and whatever she puts her mind to.
I was shocked that she was going. Yeah.
Where we're at as far as race, people need to quit looking at that. If we are cut open, we all look the same. And Obama could achieve a lot of things if a lot of these old guys would step out of his way and let him do things rather than blocking his way.
It's door now.
I think they might just need to take care of deal with it.
You're getting somebody coming in. I got you.
I wonder where you were.
Coming from Blackburn and, going around, people say, what school you go to? I tell them Blackburn, oh, that's a bad kid's school. Not really. It's a school for kids that deserves a second chance. And
This is Mr. Mayor. Said, may I help you? Hey, I don't know every detail, but I know these particular students have had some problems in their lives, whether it was as a result of them or a result of family issues or natural issues or whatever.
Kind of like, he pulled me aside and told me, he was like, how would you like to be a part of the inauguration? And I was like, me? I was super excited. I was just speechless. I just looked at him in shock, like, you just chose me to go to Washington, D.C. And he was just so calm about it. I was just, I didn't know what to say.
Angel Stock almost started jumping up and down in my office for joy. She couldn't say anything but thank you, Mr. Mayor. Said, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Said, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Said, truly excited, almost tears to her eyes. That was the joy that she felt for the opportunity.
I feel like Mr. Mayor said really gave all of us a second chance, really. But for now, for me, I feel like he gave me a third chance, giving me the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. So the fact that the principal chose me, I just feel honored. The fact that he gave me the opportunity to go see Barack Obama.
Trevor is a young man that I've known as well for years, even back in his middle school age. Just a young man who desires to be more than what his environment has predicted him to be. I hope that this can be that changing event in their lives that starts them down that road or that path that will be life-changing. I had one myself coming from an inner city.
I am so excited to go to the inauguration this weekend. I can't believe the opportunity that I'm being given, and especially to take two awesome students with me who are so excited about this historical experience.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you guys? He's getting out of the way. He doesn't want to.
I think being the second inauguration, the fact that we chose again our
Barack Obama and him being a black president, I think that it really is a turning point in history. And I think that this is the time where Americans really get to decide what kind of country they want to live in and what kind of America this wants to be.
Well, I think the mood of the country, the fact that you're going through an economic crisis now, is not exactly party time. You got to get serious about this, folks. And it's going to be interesting to see how they solve this problem. It's going to be one of these things where they were thinking about, we talk about the Depression and what happened with FDR in the 30s, and we've had the same thing, deja vu, nowadays, too. And we'll see what's going on in the future.
I think race is a really big factor. I mean, if you look back over history, I mean, it kind of comes in waves, you know. There's another wave of change coming. I mean, I think our generation with having classes like Black Studies and more information on how life is in the American culture today, he won because of minorities and because of young people. I mean, those were the majority of his votes.
Good morning. Where you going? And don't forget to answer my...
I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, resident of public housing projects, segregated high school. I lived in an era of the white water fountains, the black water fountains, the white bathrooms, the black bathrooms, sitting on the back of the bus, standing when there was no more room. So I understand how important it is to move to this milestone, even a second time, which was exciting to see Barack Obama win a second term. We've seen a lot of changes over the years, but back at that time, it was that separate but unequal environment. My parents were domestic servants for much of their early lives, and that meant they worked in the homes of white people. My mother basically served as a maid. My father was a cook. They taught their children, 3 of us, my sister and my brother, that we had to work hard for whatever we would get in this life. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and as most people know, that is the center of African American higher education. Atlanta University, which was at that time, now it's Clark Atlanta University, Spelman College, Morehouse College, Morris Brown College, and the Interdenominational Theological Center, all of those places for higher education were right across the street from my public housing project. So I saw college students every single day of my life as I walked to my school, my high school and my elementary school. So going to college was never a question. The issue was how we were going to pay for it. I realized that I could do what I saw these young people doing, even as I was growing up in poverty.
What we're eating again?
This is mustard and turnip greens. And this is a squash souffle. Sweet potato yams, gotta have cornbread. And in the oven, grilled pork chops. And of course, apple pie. I was a child of the 50s. Graduated from high school in '58 and went on to school in another southern state, Nashville, Tennessee, at Tennessee State University. And that was the era of the sit-ins. Sit-ins in Nashville, sit-ins in North Carolina, sit-ins in Atlanta, and lots of students were active in the sit-in movement. And I look back over that 40, 50, in fact, this is the 50th year of my college graduation, and I realized that we've come a long way. I don't think we ever realized that we could be at this point of having a president that is African American. Unfortunately, we have people who still believe that black people are supposed to be in a certain place and that Barack Obama does not belong in the White House. Even when you have differences of opinion, you don't have to treat the person or talk about the person with disrespect. You can disagree without being disrespectful. And many representatives of the Republican Party have definitely shown that they do not respect or honor our president based on his position in our society. Okay, well, we're taking up food, so we can get ready to bless it and eat it. Heavenly Father, we ask you to come into this gathering today. We ask you to bless our food that has been prepared for the nourishment of our bodies. And we ask that you provide protection and traveling nurses as we go to DC and return to Omaha. These blessings we ask in our darling Son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
My level of excitement is at an all-time high because we're going to see the president be inaugurated for a second time. I'm going to be able to see all the monuments, all the things I've never seen before, just the environment, the people, so I'm just really excited. This is my daughter Naomi. She's not going on the trip. She'll be supporting us from home. I'm a registered nurse. I'm organ transplant nurse.
Man, I'm so excited right now because I didn't even sleep last night. I just sleep in intervals. Go to sleep, man. You got a long bus ride. Get up. You don't want to miss the bus.
I'm really excited. We're totally excited. We love Obama. We do.
You guys start loading the bus.
Excited to be a part of the historical event and be able to come back to my students and tell them a perspective in the first person. Not only mine, but what I see from other people, their age, older than me, younger than me, the same age as me, the same color as me, different color than me. I think that this means something very different to each individual person.
I come from a really poor family, and growing up, we never had things like this. We never traveled or did anything. Only thing I can remember is going to the park and eating McDonald's when my mom had enough money. And to go here to do this would be something that my family has never done.
Another conversation I have with my students is about, empathy. You try to put yourself in other people's shoes, but the reality is I don't know what it's like to be in a black person's shoes. I can see something, that happens to them, and I don't think it's right. But I go back to my home, and I don't really, inside I can't really experience what that is. And I think that's a big part of it is understanding that I don't understand.
Now we have discussions about race and culture and about white privilege in my classroom all the time. And I remember early this year, the first time I said I said the word black person. And about 6 of my 5th graders just gasped like it was a bad word. Like we're not allowed to talk about that. And that sent a message to me that we're not talking about it enough.
Race is a very uncomfortable conversation to have, and I think we all know that. It is a necessary conversation for us to have. Have we had it? No. Do we need to have it? Absolutely.
It's great that we now have a black president, but I really wish that we would hear about that subject more, because I don't really feel like we can be one nation until we have those conversations. And if we're not having those conversations as a nation, can we really get past it?
They've never had the level of disrespect for the office, I think, that we've seen over the last 4 years.
During election time, we get this Scholastic magazine, this election special, right? And on the page, it had a timeline of major U.S. events in history. And on one of the events, it said in the 1920s, when women's suffrage gave women the right to vote. And all of my 6th grade students shot up their hand and said, "Ms. Barker, this is wrong. It did not give the women the right to vote. It gave white women the right to vote."
I would love to give a shout out to my sorority, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. One of the conversations that was had earlier was with one of the teachers that are on board, was their students talking about women's suffrage and whether or not during that time it actually gave women the right to vote. What is well known to Deltas is that in that parade, when they march for the right to vote, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated was there in the parade marching with those women, although they knew that right to vote did not include them because they were brown women. it did not include them, but they were there nonetheless because that's what we do in downtown.
Weezy F baby! Call me Lil Wayne.
What did she say?
I need some money for school.
I was just thinking we really should have our own school though.
You know what my kids told me? They said, Miss Parker, because I wrote this little rap.
Restroom break.
Ride careful and enjoy the experience. You got a lot of young kids there that this is probably going to be their first and only time seeing something like this, and a lot of boomers my age that are going for the first time. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Right now it's like 50 degrees in Washington. For the inauguration, it's supposed to be like 38 degrees. So it's pretty much our temperature in Omaha.
How do you know that?
Oh, been watching CNN about it, and that's all over the news.
So far, the bus has been pretty nice. I'm trying to take a nap, but haven't got there yet.
My feet are kind of hurting, but I do have new shoes. But other than that, I'm great.
The excitement builds the closer you get.
I thought Nebraska was boring. If you go to any other country in the world, you ask somebody, what race are you? They're going to say French or English, but you go here, they say black. On your birth certificate, they put Negro, you know. If you go to France, no matter what color you are, they put French. So, you know, the question comes to why does race matter so much in America?
I definitely think that the racial gap is closing. I don't think it's as quickly as I would like, but I definitely think we've made huge strides in a relatively short amount of time as far as from a historical perspective.
Being in the Air Force for a number of years, I was in almost in a bubble, so to speak. It was constantly a controlled condition where there was a set of rules. And I think it was President Truman that integrated the services back in the late 40s. And the service has been very sincere in implementing these rules. I associated with a number of African Americans, some of whom were my supervisors and some of whom I supervised. So to answer your question, I think that the history of race relations in America, as I have seen it, has been very progressive and I would say a normal chain of events.
Like, you never realize how large the states are until you have to drive through them. So I didn't realize Iowa was so huge until it took like 6 hours to go through it.
How are you guys doing today? Can I have a chow mein with orange chicken?
I am enjoying the fact that I just get to go. It's monumental. It might not happen in my lifetime again, so I had to go. Washington Monument, Lincoln Memorial, just to be in the city, just to be there. I just want to see everything I can, soak it all up, and go back and report to my friends and tell them what they missed.
Well, she's been complaining the whole way. Oh my goodness. And then I've been saying that I'm gonna put her on the plane and send for my son, because she is just too much sometimes.
Can you please take a picture of us that Tim could not articulate at all, apparently?
Washington, D.C.
White people in America, a lot of times race doesn't even come into their equation. They don't think about it. It doesn't, because it doesn't affect them as much, even though it does. They benefit from it blindly, so to speak. But the best thing that can happen for anybody is just to be aware of it.
I don't think the younger people have those deep-rooted prejudices as their fathers had. You know, their fathers' America is no longer here, as far as gay rights, African Americans being presidents, actually winning in golf. Those kind of things has helped break down some of those stereotypical attitudes of their grandfathers.
White people that deny white privileges out there are really living with their head in the sand. I mean, they have had an opportunity to do whatever they want however they want, and it's the status quo.
Racism is a touchy situation. I don't know where to begin with it, but I really wish it wasn't the way it was.
The idea of that racism, it ended in the 60s, you know, when segregation was over. So it's like, oh, no, nobody's racist anymore because we have a black president, you know. I heard Ann Romney say that during the election on Jay Leno, you know. I don't believe there's racism anymore. I mean, look, we have a black president. And it shocked me to hear someone say that because it just showed how clueless the majority of the United States actually is when it comes to racism.
What's going on? Can I get back to my interview, please?
I'm seeing a caravan of buses that are also joining us in D.C., so I'm looking forward to being in the midst of all the people there.
I'm Dr. Akintunde from the University of Nebraska.
Oh, we're coming from Louisville, Kentucky.
And how long has it taken you to get this far?
Oh gosh, we left at 9 o'clock last night, and we just now got here. And I can't do the math, it's too early.
We're going to Washington, D.C. to the inauguration.
And where are you guys from?
Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, great. And did you go last time?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's fun. It's just fun being around people you love and being around people, you know, that you don't know, and you're meeting new people, and everybody just enjoying the same thing at the same time.
We're all part of mankind, so it's not just this type of person or the rich or the poor, you know, it's everyone that can be a part of this.
What's it about?
We're doing a documentary because we're making a trip to the inauguration.
Oh, me too.
Okay, well, great. Let's get it on camera. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Joelle Jones.
And where are you coming from?
Michigan.
The truckers.
How do you want your eggs?
Can I have them scrambled?
I am holding up very well. It's been a great trip. Bus ride wasn't so bad.
I'm not a morning person, so... I am a morning person, so I'm like, we're in Pennsylvania!
There was a wonderful news article about our wonderful little Leon here this morning in the Omaha World Herald, so we have a celebrity sitting at our table.
I'm trying not to speak directly at anyone because I'm afraid of what my breath might do to them.
There you go. These dudes are boring, man. Do it. Can everybody say bye to the driver? Bye. Can everybody say hi to the new driver? Bye.
You're trying not to laugh.
Well, I want to see the Lincoln Memorial, and I want to see the Martin Luther King Memorial, and I want to see Obama, of course.
Yes, and what about Beyonce?
Beyonce gonna be there?
She's singing the Star Spangled Banner.
Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing Beyonce too.
Washington, D.C. Even the named streets are in alphabetical order, so it's impossible to get lost. If you're on Adams Street, for example, the next street is Banneker, the next street is Ash, the next street is Dodge, and Elephant, so it's kind of hard to get lost there.
Amen. That's all I got to say. Thank goodness, we're here.
I want to jump in that swimming pool real quick. I ain't went swimming since like the 7th grade. How's it going, brother?
I thank God for getting here safely. We have a great bus driver.
That was mine.
So I'm excited about going to do the sightseeing and then also for the inauguration tomorrow.
A real long bus drive, so I'm ready to freshen up and, you know, get to sightseeing DC.
That trip was long and I'm exhausted.
This was wonderful. In fact, just driving on that bus and letting it rock and hum last night, I just fell asleep and I feel good this morning.
We made it. I'm pumped. I've never been here before. And I voted for Obama. This was my first election. My president won, so I'm here to represent from Omaha, Nebraska.
Right now I'm pretty excited to be off the bus.
I'd like to take a nice shower.
Yeah, it's nice to be sitting next to your husband.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
I'd like to be on the other side too.
Kevin called your name on the bus and he wanted to see you. This is where you want to be, right here.
What are you thinking, man, right now?
Quite a monument. Yes, it's quite a monument to World War II. I see the Nebraska portion of it, and they say every state is represented and also the oceans. It's fantastic. So many people told me too, and you look in the center there, and there's supposed to be fountains in the summertime that shoot up. They say really nice.
I could not even imagine this. This is really spectacular architecture.
Very humbling. Very humbling. The detail of these statues is just like very incredible. Like it make you seem like you really at the Korean War. Like the guns got the clips sticking out, and the blankets got the creases in them, and the helmets got the straps hanging off. It's just look real realistic.
We're celebrating the second inauguration of Barack Obama, but also what's going on now is a reflection of what happened in the past.
My dad was in that war, and I miss him a lot.
No, it's breathtaking just to be right here. I gotta go catch it.
Okay, I officially love my Zoom.
Ready? Stay like that. Look at Tia, smile. Look at Tia.
She's been every report he's been doing since like the second grade has been on Martin Luther King Jr. So he just wanted to be a part of this. And about a couple years ago, I took him to Atlanta to see the house that he grew up.
Wow.
So now he's like, I want to go see the monument. So
this is full circle.
It's full circle for him. We're the Cox family. We're from New Jersey.
It's just so amazing. I love it. It is.
Oh, we're glad to hear from you.
I am just so glad to be here. We came all the way from Alabama.
I'm from Mobile.
All right.
How you guys feeling right now?
I'm feeling great right now. Standing in front of Martin Luther King, man. He's a big role model in everybody's lives.
It's breathtaking. It's really breathtaking.
It's an amazing experience right now, just being here. My family did a lot with the civil rights movement. My cousin is actually Rosa Parks. So, you know, my grandmother was in the church when it got bombed, when Dr. King was preaching. So a lot of history in my family. Being here the day before Dr. King Day means a lot.
Gives Black America hope. You know, it's beautiful, breathtaking. You're standing right here.
It's exciting because it's so much bigger than I thought it would be. And as a resident of Atlanta, where I was born, it's just great to know that this is one of the famous citizens that I grew up with and knew, and to see him memorialized in this way.
just standing here and seeing everything, seeing all the people. It's just like I know it's going to be history tomorrow, and I just can't wait till tomorrow. Like, I'm so excited, and I haven't seen so many black people together in my life all in one spot. So it's just such a great experience. I'm so happy to be here.
It's very emotional for me. I'm like, yes, finally got here, finally.
And it's so worth it.
Yes.
The 29 hours on the bus, it's all worth it.
Yes.
Right here.
I'm from North Carolina.
North Carolina.
I was one of the first to integrate public schools. This is what it means.
And what's
in North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay, I got a good friend with the North Carolina A&T.
Oh my goodness.
From every mountainside, let freedom ring, and when this happens, and when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
That's not our bus. That's not our bus. Our bus says navigator. Our bus says navigator.
Yes, sir. Good morning. It's too early, but it's great.
We almost overslept, and thank God for Danny. She heard my alarm because I had earplugs in, and she's like, "Get up, it's 3:03!" We came running downstairs, so we made it. It's all good.
Do you have a car?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Ready to go into the subway station so we can get going.
Feeling great, 1,000 miles trip. We finally made it.
I'm so tired, I'm delirious, honey, but it's okay. I'm all up in here. I'm in it for the long haul. We ain't done yet. So let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. Let's go.
I'm excited, and I hope we're moving forward.
I'm cold. I'm ready to go in.
It's a wonderful morning, 7.5 hours. It's a countdown, we're getting there.
I'm feeling very patriotic.
I'm tired.
A little tired, but everything is good.
This is a serious thing. I wish I could have included a whole plethora of my friends. They need to have this experience and feel this level of excitement. Wowzer! Got a button for you to wear.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much. I'm sure I'm going to get some interesting responses and replies. I'll be interested to share those with you as well.
I'm very excited that these two young brothers right there, man, that they're about to make this experience. They get to get it at this early age, you know, to be a part of this thing. They're gonna be able to look back and really realize the significance of this monumental day, Martin Luther King's birthday, as well as the president. Can't beat that. And don't forget about Beyonce.
Enjoy the day.
As I look at this site today, it's a beautiful day for an inauguration. It is cold for the feet and hands, but it's warm to know that democracy can produce something such as this.
But to actually be here and know that these other folks have walked these same grounds, looked at these same sites, seen the same things we're seeing here today, is just fabulous.
Wow. Washington, D.C. This ain't the history books no more. We here for real, for real. Like, this is real life. Like, This is what everybody want to be, man. This is the American dream. Like vendors hustling, cops patrolling, army people's doing whatever they doing.
So many sacrifices. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Sacrifices, people putting their life on the line, people living in intolerable conditions so that I can be here to see a black president inaugurated.
It's breathtaking. Stand, where Dr. Martin Luther King stood, 50 years ago.
When I first started walking over here, Martin Luther King's speech just started playing back in my mind. I remember all the stuff we had to go through, and I just started thinking back on the day where he was right here having his speech, and everybody just threw their hands up and they was going crazy for it. I mean, that moment changed us, and I'm sitting on historical ground right now.
50 years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity.
I can't wait till it starts. I want to see Obama.
Yeah. I'm so excited for it to start.
Speechless. It's amazing. I can't believe I'm here.
President of the United States, Barack H. Obama.
Members of Congress, all who are present, it is my honor to present the Chief Justice of the United States, John G. Roberts, Jr., who will administer the presidential oath of office. One, please rise.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President. Well done.
By the blood,
This was the best trip of my life that I think I've ever had.
The Lincoln Memorial for me was really emotional because I spent a lot of time with Morgan, and all I could think to myself was, if it wasn't for Abraham Lincoln and it wasn't for Martin Luther King and all these people like Malcolm X who put in this effort, to make it so that blacks had the right to do everything that as a white person I have to do, we wouldn't have been able to sit there together and enjoy it. And for me, it was just kind of a thankful moment to know that, I grew up with that privilege of being able to be friends with someone of color.
I like getting to meet everybody and, getting to see stuff that I would never have saw if I didn't come on this trip.
We got to see his speech, his words, there on the mall, the roar of the crowd, people just being so united. Blacks, whites, Hispanics, males, females, different sexual orientations. We were all just one body that day, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful to be a part of it, and I will never, ever, ever forget it. How you doing?
I made choices in my lifetime that landed me in places I didn't want to be. But I also know the choices I'm making today is having me around beautiful people, and I just want to thank y'all.
It's the essence within people, and when a lot of times we sit back and define each other by white, black, rich, poor, smart, all these what I call illogical separatist identifications. And you then begin to separate yourselves and find those people who are like you, and you lose out on so much in life.
I like D.C. I want to go there and have a good time and see the treasures and your monuments and all those things in the inauguration. But then when I got off the bus, I was telling Doc that the real treasures and the monuments was on the bus, the people.
This is a poem I wrote a couple years ago after learning some pretty disturbing statistics. We have over 2.5 million people incarcerated in this country. About 1 in every 100 people is incarcerated, but 1 in every 9 black people is incarcerated. This country has the highest incarceration rate in history, aside from Nazi Germany, if that says something to any of you. Lives are hanging in the balance every day as people struggle to survive, risk it all to get paid. How many children do I have to see die? Born to be great, but never get the chance to fly. 10-year-old kids, wise beyond their years. They've seen so much death, it's diminished their fears. They face it each day, it's do or it's die, it's do whatever it takes to get by. And more often than not, someone will fall. They die for nothing by chasing it all. Their mothers weep, their sisters wail, their uncles and brothers plan to prevail. By taking another young life, they watch justice unfold. The only way that it can when the world is controlled by the white and the rich, but you're black and you're poor. So the cycle continues, and so does the war. When we turn on the news, they tell us who to blame. They are identified by race, by status, by name. They control us with fear so that it seems to appear that our biggest threat is already here. Living in the projects, the ghettos, the hoods, Black America, the epitome of misunderstood and misrepresented, the white man's response when slavery ended. Damn it, now how do we hold them down? Let's make them the enemy in every city and town. We'll fill up our prisons with who we choose to blame. Because inmate and slave seem one and the same when the prisons are flooded with young black men who are simply surviving the situation they're in. Spend time with these children and look in their eyes. Try to see past the tough street disguise. Feel the warmth in their hugs and see the sun in their smiles. This is not a criminal. This is a child.
People, Marquia, Curtis, Davion, Quincy, Leon, Angel, and Trevor. There's a poem called Dreams Are Illegal in the Ghetto. And it pretty much is saying that the world, society has told us and taught us that if we live in an area where we're not supposed to get out, where things are bad and things will stay bad, that we cannot, each time that we go to sleep, dream and want something better. You guys now have full permission from yourselves to dream and to want more out of life, because some of the things that you saw, people don't get to see every day. And people from your background, from your neighborhood, people that you can go and shake hands with and break bread with on a daily might not get this opportunity. So not only are you giving yourself that permission, you are giving them permission to dream as well.
We've come so far, but still a ways to go. I stand tall and proud in the greatest country I know. We've had our tides and our fair shares of war, but this is the victory after the storm. I dreamed that one day, whether you're Muslim, Christian, or Buddhist, or Sikh, that we would join hands and realize the dream of the ones that died to set us free. The dream is alive in you and me. Yes, we can, oh, yes, we can, oh, yes, we can, oh, yes, we can, yes, we can, oh, yes, we can let freedom ring.
I've been very much impressed with our young people. The future is in good hands.
I didn't know one person on this entire trip, and now I feel like I have 55 more friends.
I look into a lot of Black history and I see the things that we had to go through. And then, you know, when I see this man, a Black man, get put into the White House, I see how far we come. I mean, we're not perfect, yet we still have a long ways to go. But to me, I feel like the American dream, the ideal of it, is starting to come to fruition.
So many people march to see this great moment in history, and 50 years later, I'm there on Martin Luther King Day, sitting there, about to witness a great moment in history, and to see all those ethnicities and races witnessing this, you know, it really brings America together.
It was just wonderful to see a student that's so enthusiastic about history and about African American history, to see his excitement and to know that it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience for him that he'll never forget.
Best experience ever.
72 hours ago, I didn't know anybody on this bus except one person, and now I feel like my family has expanded by 50 people. It was fantastic, transcendent, holy.
Changes. Maybe some for some of the poverty drop and some of the crime rate drop.
It's been an amazing trip. I'm so glad to be back from history.
This is the best thing. I'll never forget it, and my life is forever changed.
I got here, I didn't know anybody. Now I know everybody.
I met a bus full of wonderful people. I think that was the most rewarding experience for me, to meet such wonderful people, the Barkers, all the people from Northwest, just everyone. I had a fabulous, fabulous time, and I just want to thank everyone, and thank you so much for letting me come, Dr. Akatude. How you doing? How you doing? Oh, thank you so much. It was wonderful to meet you, too.
I'm gonna miss everybody.
Oh, hugs and love, hugs and love.
Oh, God, don't make me break down on campus, sweetie. I'm telling you that you guys don't know how much this means to me.
Yeah, I reckon we just still out here fellowshipping and conversating. That's how you know you done met good people when you just don't want to leave.
Yep.
Even when it's cold.
It truly is going to inspire me, you know, to strive harder.
I'm proud of you, son. I'm so proud of you.
I enjoyed it a lot, a whole lot. If I had another chance to go back, I would, but just not today.
Oh yeah, I'm about to go home and eat, and then go to bed, and then wake up and eat again, and then go back to sleep.
I'm completely sad that it's over. I had so much fun, great experience with great people. I just don't want it to end.
Mr. President, I'm talking to you. Got your ears on. This one goes out to all my people in the slum, and in the trash. You know what I'm talking about? Just trying to make a better way for themselves by any means necessary. Listen. Been on the north side of hell for so long I can't strive. Must be a reason Jesus lets show enough stay alive. Drink a fifth until I'm sick and grab my keys to drink and drive. The game of life surprise fight, but I ain't gonna take no dive. Conflicts and confusions got my brain in contusion. Alcohol abuse and boozing got me losing to illusion. But I'm steady fusing speech into this element to teach. A New Testament of beats to bear witness to these feats of mind states. My city's crime rate is escalating. You suck off in your old bird's nest, you best in hate. But I'm best at waiting, calculating, contemplating power moves to counter Satan. Perpetrating gets you Nathan. I'm Mr. Heat Miser, Mr. 101, Mr. Ash, the shit kicker. I ain't never gonna run. The damage is done. The game we get it straight from the sun. You brought the dope here, that's why we keep guns. And damn devil. I don't wanna live like this no more. Lord, take me away. Lord, take me away. As long as I can strap out on these streets, I'm gonna be okay. If you just let me get back on my feet, I will flood the town. Or you gon' make me reach back for this strap and now the bucket down. I gotta get this money, baby. Okay. Cause I don't wanna live like this no more. Lord, take me away. Lord, take me away. As long as I can strap out on these streets, I'm gonna be okay. If you just let me get back on my feet.